Welcome back to the Alberni Valley Multiplex, our first intermission show on Victoria Grizzlies hockey, brought to you by Slag Building Materials, joined by Grizzlies captain Brady MacDonald. Brady, I wish I could say this is weird and that I'm interviewing someone that I haven't met before. However, with all the COVID protocols and how everything goes in my regular night job or day job, I interview a lot of guys that I never see face-to-face, and I almost wonder if there's ever going to be a day where we can share a microphone to people, and I can actually see people when I talk to them. But I guess we're making the most out of it, right? Like we are with the pod campaign, like everything day-to-day life. Nice to meet you. Here we go. How are you?
Yeah, very good. Yeah, thanks for having me on.
No, thanks. Thanks for the time. It would have been nicer if we were chatting about a game on Wednesday night where you came away victorious, unfortunately. You guys didn't look like yourselves. I thought. I give credit to Alberni at the same point, but a little bit different than the team I had seen. You individually, a nice goal that we'll get to eventually. But just in your words, thoughts on a 5-3 loss that could have been closer, or maybe if you look at 2 late goals in the final 3 minutes, maybe that score is indicative of the game. But what did you think about it, start to finish and in between?
Yeah, like you said, I don't think the score necessarily reflects that game last night. I think as a team we knew we could have done better. I don't think we had a full 60 minutes. I think we had a little bit of trouble with their first line again. I think if we can shut them down, we'll be okay. But I think we gave them a couple opportunities, and they kind of took advantage of it there. But yeah, like you said, a couple of late goals kind of made it seem close. But yeah, I think we knew we had better.
A scoreless game through 20 and a wildly entertaining back and forth start where I thought Alberni came out really good on that opening shift and kind of had some momentum. Then I thought there was 2 or 3 really good chances. One you had the trifle set up. One where Henri had an open net. I still don't know how it didn't go in. Where you could have been up a couple after 20 minutes too. And I know that's maybe an easy thing to say when it's said over and done with, but it's maybe a discussion about how fine the line is between winning and losing every single night. I mean, it could have been much different.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, like you said, those couple opportunities there early, and just kind of struggled to cash. I remember that one that Stripes fed me. I just kind of didn't get the full handle on it. Maybe should have left it for dips, but yeah, just kind of making sure you cash in on those chances because you never know if you're going to get the same grade A opportunities in the second and third.
So it's 3-0. It's 1 goal at the end of a power play. It's 2 goals in a span of 58 seconds, and Alberni's up 3-0. And I thought your response as a team was great. Maybe it helped that last time you were down 3-0, you won 4-3. But what do you do as the leader, as the captain of the team? What does the coaching staff do or say when it goes from 1-0 to 3-0 in less than a minute? That's a really tough moment to try to respond to, and I thought the response was good. How do you try to do that, though?
Yeah, it was pretty tough. Like you said, 2 pretty quick goals, but I think we're confident in our group, and we never get too high or never too low, whether it's up by 2, down by 2. I think we're pretty composed on the bench, and we never really thought we were out of that game. So we got that power play there and kind of cashed in, and then we were trying to just build from there. And then I think we kind of started flat in the third, and that's what really hurt us.
Yeah, that 1 goal there, all I was thinking when it was, because I looked at it from the other side of the puck the last time it was 3-0, and you guys had scored, made it 3-1. I was thinking, oh, man, this third period starts critical. And I did think that one kind of took the wind out of the sails a bit. Just take us through your goal, though, just to back it up a bit. Nice face-off win, nice setup, and a very nice finish by you.
Yeah, thanks. It was kind of weird, kind of a broken play, just kind of squared it out, and then saw a bit of a lane top right and just kind of put it on net, and luckily went in.
To what do you attribute your special teams success on both sides of the puck? Going into the game on Wednesday, you were incredibly at 31+%, only second on the power play. You were second on the penalty kill. They're both very gaudy numbers. They were, in a lot of the games that I've seen and broadcasted, for and against and present for the Grizzlies. They've been such a big difference maker and a really big attributor to your position in the standings and wins and losses at the end of the night. So why? I mean, why is it so good? Try to break down kind of both sides of it, killing and power play success.
Yeah, I think like you said, special teams is huge in today's game. It can be a huge separator in those late games. So I think our penalty kill is good, just because I think in practice we do a lot of zone work. Like we do a lot of 3-on-2 in zone on tight. So I think in like those situations we're just pretty comfortable, like practicing all year too for 7 months. Like we just got pretty comfortable with those tight end zone defending, and then I think power play we got two pretty talented units who just same thing, like practicing all year. They got pretty comfortable, built some chemistry, and then
When you move forward to the game tonight, you face the Couch Valley Capitals, where I would never say the best thing that any team could have is a loss. But when you're facing a team that you beat 10-0, that they played a lot better in the most recent one, but you still handled them easily 5-1. It's maybe hard to not take a team lightly when you've beaten them a combined 15-1 over the last 2 games. I don't want to be them tonight facing you, just with what happened last game out. But how do you try to prepare against a team where it's just human nature to think we should win this one? I'm not saying you are, but I wouldn't blame anyone who would think that.
Yeah, I think definitely can't come in with that mindset. D likes to say often it's not an easy league. There's no easy wins in this league. So I think we've kind of know that by now. We have a few losses now where we think we shouldn't be losing as much. So I think if we show up and just bear down and play 60 minutes and play that full 60, I think we'll be okay.
I guess it doesn't hurt that the Capitals did beat you the last time they won a hockey game 3-2, and maybe that one's somewhere in the memory that any given night anything can happen, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. It's a pretty good league.
Again with the Grizzlies, Captain Brady MacDonald. Let's speak about the captaincy. I can't remember when that was bestowed upon you, but just take us through being the captain, how you try to carry yourself, what the expectations of the staff are on you, and what your expectations are of yourself.
Yeah, it was a pretty big honor to be named earlier this year. Obviously, anytime you get a chance to wear a letter for any team, it's a pretty big honor, and it's nothing different here for Victoria. So, yeah, it was an honor, and I have a great group of veterans and 20-year-olds here to support me and kind of help me out. And then 2 captains that have been here since I arrived, and Alex Newhook and Marty Westhaver. Those are just 2 unbelievable captains that I learned a lot from, and hopefully pass along some of those lessons learned from them to some of the younger guys.
How about the responsibility shared? It's not just on you with the C. You've got a couple A's that I'm sure as a leadership group you rely on each other, and you rely on them sometimes to not always have to carry the load that maybe the captaincy has to lay the boom on guys a time or two, and it can't always be you, right?
Yeah, no, exactly. We got a great group of veteran players and 20-year-olds, and Alex DePaulo and Jake Ballou and Eddie Yan and Schreifels and Reed Lindsay. I could go up and down and name you how much good leadership we have on and off the ice.
Let's do the player profile portion of this interview. I do this all the time when I speak to players, so I can get to know you guys better. The fans can. You're not just 27 wearing a sweater and skates. I need your full name, your age, your hometown.
Full name, Jackson Brady MacDonald. I'm 21, and I'm from Dorchester, Ontario.
Oh, it's a Jackson first. Interesting. See, it's why I ask these questions. Tell me about Dorchester, Ontario.
Yeah, it's just a little small town outside of London, Ontario. I'd say it's a little farming town, and I just grew up nice little childhood, and then eventually went to high school in London, and then made the move out here.
That's the next question, the move out here. How did that happen? Connect the dots. Where were you found, or did you find the Grizzlies? How did you go from there to here?
Yeah, I was 16, 17. I played in the GOJHL, just junior B back in Ontario. Kind of wanted to finish up high school at home with my buddies, and then just kind of talk with my agent. We always kind of were talking about the VCHL and how it was known to move guys on to the NCAA, and kind of clicked in Victoria, and then got out here and kind of fell in love with it.
Had you ever been out to the island or BC before you came to play?
No, I hadn't. I had no idea what it was like out here. We were actually joking about it the other day how one of the guys, when he first heard of the island, he thought it was just going to be like just the rink and just like a grocery store. And I was just like, once you get out here, you often forget you're on an island. It's so big.
I'm a northern Manitoba boy, and I was blown away when I first saw it how mountainous it was. I for some reason, I just didn't expect that part of it. Do you ever talk back home to the folks, the family, the friends, just to say, hey, I'm just sitting here and the birds are chirping and it's a nice sunny day when it's minus 40 and 8 feet snowdrifts and blowing sideways? Or do you try to take the high road and not let them be known or remind them of how good we have it out here?
Yeah, no, I'm trying to be careful with that stuff. I'll send pictures and stuff, but I don't know. Some days I'll know it'll be snowing back home, and I'll be going on a hike, and I won't send as much.
You talked about the NCAA and why you came out here. Well, you had that commitment in your back pocket, committed to Dartmouth. Take us through the securing of your educational and your athletic future, and what that meant, and why you chose them, and when that all happened.
Yeah, that was talking to them throughout the summer, and obviously it's been a pretty bizarre year with COVID and everything, so not being able to do visits and all that was a bit tough, but just kind of taking what I could get and just talking pretty seriously with them. And then they made the offer in early December and kind of hopped on it. It's kind of been my dream for a while. If I was going to be able to get an Ivy League school, to kind of hop on that.
It's such a motivator for guys to secure that future. So how do you keep yourself motivated now that you know you have it and you don't have to? I mean, it's a great stress reliever, I think, to not have that, but it's also and a weight off your shoulders. But there's also maybe a fire that you need to find somewhere else now.
Yeah, no, there's certainly more expectations coming into games, like just expectations for myself, just kind of wanting to perform. And then also there just only being 20 games this year, you kind of want to give your best showing every game. And we got a pretty good team, so I think every night we look for success.
20 games this year, but also, if I remember correctly, in the pandemic preseason extended training camp, you were out, if not for all of it, almost all of it. That must have been really tough to then go through the following months of not knowing if you're playing at all. Just take us through where you were at through that and how you somehow navigated through it.
Yeah, that was a bit of a tough start to the year, a little upper body injury, and then I was good to go for a while, and then the season was just shut down, right? So, yeah, it was a bit unfortunate, but yeah, no, everything ended up working out, and now we're playing again. So,
couple more with Brady MacDonald, Grizzlies captain, then we'll let you go. So, when it is shut down and there is that uncertainty, did you believe that there was going to be a chance to ever play? You couldn't be blamed and might not even be honest with me if you tell me, yeah, I knew we were going to come back. How did you try to get through that? And where were you at just mentally with as the months dragged on and the light at the end of the tunnel suddenly looked like a train coming back the other way and not something good?
Yeah. Yeah, it kind of felt like we were being strung along for a while. I think we were all hopeful. Everyone never really, I kind of had the hope the whole year that it was going to happen. And we kind of did good as a team. We all stayed together and we all practiced and we all kind of went through it as a team. We only really had one guy leave, which is Cody Vaughn. So that aspect was pretty good of it. But yeah, I think just trying to stay positive every day. Once it got into the later months and it was getting into the February, March, I think some guys started to lose hope, and honestly, it was just a toss-up at that point. I thought it was just a coin flip. With the WHL starting, that was a really good sign. I remember we were all pretty pumped up for that just because it was in BC. But we still were nervous because it was Junior A, and we were Tier 2, and we didn't know all that. But, no, just really happy that everything worked out because it was looking grim. It was looking like a flip of a coin.
What was it like to finally not just, hey, get the green light, we're going to play, but then play that first game? I will never forget. I've seen thousands of pregame warm-ups, and I've never even noticed they've happened. And that game one between you guys and Alberni Valley, when both teams came on the ice for warm-up, and I realized, and even now I'm getting goosebumps talking about it, I realized how excited everyone was and how special of a moment it was to just play a game. It just really hit me that, wow, everyone's been through a lot, and this is pretty special, and this is just great, I guess, for a lack of a better word. But what was that like to finally get back on the ice and have another sporting competition against another group of humans like that?
Yeah, no, that first game back was awesome. Everyone was just bus right up. Everyone's fired up, and yeah, just like human nature, getting back to like the competition aspect of it, and just grinding out with a bunch of guys that you've already battled with and been training with all year. And I think, like I said earlier, like us staying together for 7 months, we've kind of created some bonds together and really built some chemistry, and we want to win together, whether it be the 20 game or we're not really looking like we're having playoffs, but we're just trying to win every game we can.
You mentioned the bus ride up. You couldn't be blamed being the farthest team away from the pod to say this is getting kind of old. However, I mean, I'd play games at 1 in the morning and drive 10 hours just for the ability to be able to play. But what's it like? How are you treated in the pod? What's it like having the travel, but even in the overnight sometimes to play in the pod hockey scenario? It's certainly different.
Yeah, pros and cons. Nights like last night, it's pretty brutal. But nights where you win and you got a back-to-back or you go to the hotel, I don't mind the hotel because we kind of missed all that, like just the aspect of feeling like junior hockey and getting on the road and having these road trips and all the meals and kind of get that junior hockey aspect feel for a lot of these young guys who are just kind of coming in and feeling out the league. So me personally, I've really enjoyed it, kind of having like just the hotel aspect and kind of the feeling of it. I really enjoyed it, and then the bus rides, like they're long, but I don't know. We play cards, and I don't know. We're kind of just enjoying our last month together. For some of us, we've been together for 3 years, so.
I haven't had as good a nap as I've ever had since the last time I've been on the bus, and I never thought I would say I'd miss it. How do you find the energy and the atmosphere when there's no fans in the building to try to just keep playing? If there are moments where you're feeling low or you would usually get that booster or something. It's the same for all teams, I guess. But how do you and you as a team try to make your own energy, I guess? Is that it?
Yeah, it's a little bizarre. Just because I watched the game actually the other night. I was just kind of curious what the difference was, and it was from last year, one of our last games in Port Alberta with fans and everything. I was just kind of interested in the pace and the reactions and everything, and it's actually quite a bit different, and you kind of forget how different it is until you go back and watch one of those games, right? But
I liken it to being a party in space, great views, no atmosphere.
Yeah. It's bizarre. Like sometimes there's like unbelievable plays or just like plays where the fans would be going nuts and it's just kind of silent, and we don't really have the best music system in Port Alberta, or maybe it's just not turned up all the way. So sometimes it just feels almost like awkward in between whistles, which I'm not a fan of. But well, like creating your own energy, like you said, like that's pretty huge, and it's made it more fun for the guys. Like the big play happens, we're more responsible, and we gotta kind of get up and let them know that we all saw it and that it actually could have an impact on the game.
I know for the radio broadcasts, I'm concerned because I hear things that we never used to that we probably shouldn't.
Yeah, like last night, and there's too many men.
I actually missed that, but yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I remember hearing it, but I didn't hear anything I shouldn't have. Okay, last time, you're beyond hockey. I said it was player profile. I haven't even done this. What does the future hold for you beyond hockey? Or currently, what do you do when you're not on the ice? Or are you just hockey all the time? Do you have any other pursuits or interests that separates you from the game?
Yeah, I think... I don't know. I'd say I'm a somewhat simple guy. I like watching hockey a lot. Like Netflix, and I'm a little into music. I'd say we got a piano here at our billet, and I like to kind of mess around on it sometimes. And then my billet brother bought a couple guitars, and I used to play a bit of guitar. So I like kind of messing around with that stuff. And then I like golfing. And just pretty simple. I'd say going to school for business. Probably marketing or finance, so
awesome.
Hopefully turn that into something, but yeah, hopefully pursue a pro hockey career.
We'll get 9 holes of golf in one day in the future. Any hellos, any thank yous, any shout-outs to anybody listening as we conclude this?
Yeah, just back home. My mom will probably be listening tonight, and maybe a couple of siblings. I'm not too sure, but yeah, Josh and Tanner might be watching, and Alyssa.
I appreciate your time in doing this. I wasn't excited for it ahead of time, and I thought it would be awkward, and now I'm really glad we did it. That was pretty cool, so thank you.
Yeah, no, thank you. I've never done one of these without actually meeting the person. So yeah, definitely a little interesting. But yeah, no, thanks for having me.
That's the best way to meet me is to not have to see me. Thanks for this. Best of luck tonight.
All right, thank you.